If you're married and want a closer, more intimate relationship with your spouse, built on true friendship and a deeper connection, this video is for you.
In this video, we're sharing a past training where we broke down our 6 keys to a deeper connection, what we call our attach method, which is a simple way to bring you and your spouse closer together.
So check it out.
The keys to deeper connection. Okay, now we're a couple who's focused specifically on a connection in our own relationship. We had to go through that ourselves and those of our clients as well. And so we've seen the difference in marriage when both spouses do the work for a relationship that doesn't just look the part, because that's just one thing. Sometimes we just want to look the part, okay? But they actually feel it, okay? It better than what it looks like in pictures. And so many of the couples that we've interviewed and worked with have expressed how great their relationship looks from the outside, in pictures, to family, on social media, IG, looking popping. Everything looks good.
It looks good. But when they're alone and behind the camera and they're in their own four walls, they have nothing at all, nothing at all. You'd be surprised. So they come to us looking for the pieces that they know they're missing, but don't know how. Right? They don't know how to put it together. So they come to us for those missing pieces that they need in a relationship. And a couple that's connected on multiple levels can easily navigate challenges and conflicts. And because of this, they'll have a rewarding relationship, right? So let's get into those keys, right? If you're ready for those keys, oh, she already went to.
They dropped all the hearts in the chat.
I know. Love it. I got a new one.
Love it.
Hashtag in it for love. Hashtag in it for love.
That's what we're
right?
in it for. That's right. So the first key is alignment and understanding, okay? Understanding each other and having aligned values, goals, and desires. That's going to encourage you to support each other, right? And that's going to help you to create the vision that you both want together, okay? Being on the same page, like that's a setup for connection. A lot of people want to be connected, but they're not aligned. They don't understand each other at all. Right. And so what happens is, like we talked about before, two people have different visions, have different desires, have different wants, and they are not aligned because we're different. I have different things that I want. He has different things that he wants, but we're both aware of those different things, and our different things are aligned. Right. And so when they're not aligned and we're just walking in different directions, you can't expect the relationship to feel connected at all, because your desires and your visions and where you're headed is opposite. Right. So that's the first key: alignment and understanding.
And the second key is true trust. The most overlooked problem we see in so many couples today, people are doing things that actually chip away at the trust in their relationship. And basically, we're not talking about just like infidelity. We're not talking about cheating either. It's outside of that, right? So basically, our story, for years, we had absolutely no idea, right, how we actually felt about each other. We had no idea how we felt about each other. The walls between us, every time we tried to talk, it was frustration, it was disagreements. Things would not go as planned. And our reactions, like, we would be blowing up at each other or even holding back from each other because we thought it was due to communication, but it wasn't that. We didn't trust each other to really open up to each other, to actually connect to each other on a deeper level, right? We had a lot of superficial conversations, but we didn't go deep. We held a lot back. And so therefore we thought it was communication problems, but it wasn't. It was really trust issues, right? Yeah. True trust, right?
And that's the thing, people don't realize that they have trust issues, right? And so for me, there was a time where I really just couldn't open up to him about my flaws, my weaknesses, because I didn't want him to look at me any kind of way. I didn't want him to look at me sideways. I didn't want him to point the finger. But the truth is that the reason why I couldn't do that was because I was pointing the finger at him so much. And so part of that, all that finger pointing, was hurting the trust in our relationship. It was, because now I gotta hide part of who I am because I don't feel comfortable enough. But part of the reason why I don't feel comfortable is because of the environment that I helped create. Who can relate to that? Who can relate to that? And so true trust is very important for connection. When you don't trust each other, you can't expect yourselves to feel any kind of connection.
And the thing is, we didn't realize any of this until we actually did the inner work, right? And once we did the inner work, we started being able to trust each other more, right? We started to be able to build our trust over again once we started doing the inner work, right? So while being fully faithful to each other, we didn't trust each other.
Yep. And that's the problem, And so one thing that I get a lot a lot of messages that I get from women, the first thing that a woman tells me sometimes is that was going wrong in their relationship. I always ask, like, what's the problem? And they always say, well, it's communication. Our problem is communication. We don't communicate. He doesn't communicate with me. I'm having a hard time communicating. When I ask a couple more questions and they give me the details, it usually, a lot of times, it comes back to trust, right? And because I'm aware, because I've experienced it and I've done it myself, I understand that sometimes we're the ones that are hurting the trust in the relationship, right? And so sometimes, and also sometimes it's vice versa. And so that's a true story. That's exactly how it goes. And so true trust is one of the keys to a deeper connection with your spouse. And the next key is tender intimacy. And so a relationship without physical intimacy, it cannot thrive. I'm gonna say that one more time for the people in the back. A relationship without physical intimacy, it can't thrive. It cannot thrive, okay? But a relationship without emotional intimacy can't thrive either. You need both. Okay. And so neither man nor woman craves one more than the other. People think men want, physical connection more than women, right? We've worked with women that wanted it more than men. And so it's on both ends. Both want both. And so to have a deeper connection physically, prioritize more connection emotionally, right? Having candid conversations, spending time together, that's adding to what you're really looking for. So when you're together, look at each other and stare at each other more.
Exactly. Flirt with each other, right? Touch, hold, squeeze. Fellas, hey, when she walk past, ta-ta-ta, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, hold hands for longer periods of time while you're driving, while you're walking, right? And get physically closer to each other. Intimacy beyond the bedroom is what the relationship thrives off of. Intimacy beyond the bedroom is what it thrives off of. So you got to start outside the bedroom before you even get in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And next is absolute vulnerability. The difference between a satisfying relationship versus one that isn't is what the relationship is serving you. Right? It's what the relationship is serving you. How is the relationship serving you? Right? You want a marriage that serves you like a 3-course meal, right? So personal and inspirational growth. You should be finding that in your marriage, right? Mental stimulation and relief. Physical and emotional pleasure. These are things that your marriage should be serving you. Now, if the relationship isn't serving you both a 3-course meal, there's some work to do. There's some work to do. And having absolute vulnerability, feeling comfortable enough to be open and honest and fearless at the same time is what absolute vulnerability feels and looks like, right? And when you do that, it screams connection. You're gonna get closer. The attachment is gonna be tighter.
And the next key is cultivated friendship. And so friendship between spouses is the result of the connection. And you don't have to have married your best friend, okay, for friendship to exist in your marriage. And we didn't marry as best friends. We did not marry as best friends. We became best friends over time, okay, way after marriage. And that friendship had to be cultivated. It didn't just happen on its own. And the last key is healing conversations, okay? Healing conversations are the lemons to your lemonade,
That sounds
okay?
sweet.
Remember the fight framework. These are the talks that allow you both to feel heard and understood, and they allow you to express yourselves openly and honestly, and they allow you to visit the issue, the challenge, the misunderstanding, close the loop, the problem, the issue, whatever it can be, so that you can move on, so you can move forward without feeling dismissed or rush through a conversation. So have these healing conversations. All right.
And so these 6 keys, when applied, will help you develop closeness, vulnerability, and comfort, right, in your relationship. So you can express yourselves openly and honestly, have a better, physical experience with each other, enjoy each other's presence, and value what you both bring to the relationship table. And you actually enjoy what the relationship looks like and feels like, right? And and that's what people want. You want a relationship that feels good. You want a relationship that looks good. But so many times we're focused on, we get caught up in how everything looks. We forget about the feelings, right? Or we hide our feelings. So when you have that connection, there's no need to hide your feelings, right? Be open, honest, and vulnerable with each other so you two can have that connection, be attached.
We hope this video blessed you. And if it did, watch this one next. Let us know what stood out to you most in the comments below.
And if you could think of one couple that you want to see win this year, tap that share button and share it to them. With that being said, peace and blessings.
See you in the next video.